Hello everyone, welcome back. So behind me is Whitby. But what is Whitby like in the winter? Is it just as busy as it is in the summer? Well, pretty much, yes. So we're going to go check out what's open. We're going to go check out the outer harbour, St Mary's Church, the Abbey, the beach, and so much more. We might even get some fish and chips. Come on. A moment, but there's nobody walking on the steps. That's spooky. So we're going to start just here. Going to walk towards the beach, Whitby Abbey, St Mary's Church, the steps, and check out what it's like here in Whitby in the winter. Now, it is, again, fairly busy. Not as busy as it was in the summer. I mean, that was just a little bit crazy on a sunny day, even during the week, as you can see from last year, just how busy it was. So thankfully, it's a lot quieter today. I wonder if there's any boat trips running this time of year. I guess we'll go and check it out. Now, of course, Whitby is famous for a lot of things, Captain Cook, Dracula, but also for fish and chips. And you are really spoilt for choice when it comes to fish and chips in Whitby. I mean, there were just so many, it's just crazy. Look at all these lobster pots. So you can see the famous Whitby Abbey up there, St Mary's Church there. And before we head over the bridge, we're going to go down towards the beach. See what it's like in February. Like I say, it's very windy actually. It's quite calm here, but as we get down towards the harbour walls, you'll definitely notice the wind. Look at this old ship. The Chef Titan. Seen better days. Look how rusty that is. So of course in the summer they do lots of different boat trips out to sea, which you can board from most places along the harbour. Popper's Fish and Chips. Oh, just show you this pub. I mean, I've got a lot of favourite pubs in Whitby, but if you ever want to have a little tipple in a really nice little Irish pub, do check this out, the Golden Lion. It's really nice in there. Look at that. The sky is blue, the air is crisp. So I actually got a boat from here in the summer. If you want to check out that video, top right hand corner. And basically it's 20 minutes on a boat that literally goes out of the harbour, swings a left, goes up the coast for about 10-15 minutes, and then it returns. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but just on the opposite side of St Mary's Church you can see the moon, and it looks massive. Probably can't pick that up on the camera. Your traditional British seaside rock shops and candy floss. Do you know what, I actually can't remember the last time I had some candy floss. And also not to be missed is the Dracula experience, which is open in the winter. It's open on a weekend, on Saturday and Sunday. Lots of Dracula merchandise in there. Another popular fish and chip shop in Whitby is Terry's. It's closed today actually. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because you get the traditional kind of rock shops and candy floss stalls, and then you get the chic bars and restaurants either side, which is again quite unique for Whitby. You wouldn't get that in other seaside towns. Just walking past the Whitby Fish Market. Actually feels almost spring-like out the wind today. Temperature's around about 6 degrees, so it is cold. If you're loving the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe as well to see more videos from the Great British Seaside and more of my adventures around the UK. So the few amusements that are here in Whitby are all kind of clustered up this area. Fancy some Whitby fudge? Cherry fudge, nice. Now obviously there's a connection with Dracula and Whitby. There's also that connection of Captain Cook too. And there's a memorial just further up here which we'll go and check out in a little bit. But first let's walk along the harbour walls. And by far one of the best views of Whitby coming up. When you see Whitby on postcards, this is definitely the shot that you see. St Mary's Church, just there, and the famous beach. I'm going to show you that beach and how to get to it in just a little bit. So you can see how calm it is this side, and as I swing the camera around, look at this, it's well stormy. In fact, the tide is in big time. There's no beach at all today. Nobody's surfing though. This is normally quite a popular spot for surfers actually. You would have thought actually with the waves being quite choppy they would close the bridge today, but it's not too bad. Obviously when it's really windy they will close it off. Look at that, just how calm it is this side. You see just the waves coming in. They do break over there on the groins. Obviously this was why this was built, to protect Whitby from the fierce winds. Somebody's doing some painting there, look at that. You can just see there underneath the walkway, some people use that for fishing. Definitely some big waves, look at that. It just goes to show how long this has stood here and how weathered the Yorkshire stone is, look at it. They do make a point. The extreme danger from wave action during rough winter weather. It's a little bit choppy today, but I think we'll be okay. So this is always the popular side most people actually go, rather than the other side. It's quite quiet. You've got to walk all the way around, you see, past St Mary's Church. The thing I have with this walkway is that the gaps are so big that you kind of can get your feet lodged in there. So obviously walking on high heels would not be a good idea here. Look at the gaps. It's a pretty big gap. In fact, the waves go a little bit calmer now as we get out further. I thought it would actually be really, really windy out here. It's not too bad. So when you get on one of these boats, they come out of the harbour and they literally go just down there, halfway, and then they turn around. But it's a great experience if you've never been on a boat before, and it's quite cheap as well. I think there's just a light in there. This is still open, we can actually walk down here. Do we dare do it? Now these are very steep to go down. You really got to hold on to the sides because you could fall quite easily. The steps are quite narrow. But coming down here, obviously a lot of people fish from here. As you know, I like to go under piers. Whitby doesn't have a pier, so this is the best that it can offer right now. And it's quite nice because nobody else is here. It feels almost like a little private little area. Cool, you can see the size of those waves there. So obviously if these waves were much bigger, I would be getting soaked right now. Looks like somebody has tried to do the whole padlock thing. Hasn't really caught on though here. Now it's the fun bit, going back up. So yeah, not much of a beach at the moment with the high tide. In fact, this is the beach. So you can pick up these maps for £1, but just to show you where we were. Stood on the end of there. I've just walked up here. Obviously, the Captain Cook Monument is where we're going to go next, and then we're going to walk over the bridge, and then of course we're going to take a walk through the very picturesque part of Whitby, check out the beaches, and then up the 199 steps, which are a bit of a killer, onto St Mary's Church, and then of course the famous Whitby Abbey. So to get up to the monument, you got to climb these steps. Another great fish and chip shop there, restaurant wise, looking over the sea, really nice, the Fisherman's Wife. I tell you, Whitby is all about the steps. I love steps here. So just as you're walking up these steps, you can see the 199 steps just over there. Great views from up here. And of course facing out to sea, the lasting memory of Captain James Cook. Look at that, looks like it's made out of sand almost. I think I need to get a coffee to keep me going. How much are we talking? £2.35. Let's go for a coffee, shall we? Hiya, can I get a cappuccino, please?
Just a regular or large?
Just a regular, please.
So just £2.35.
Thank you. Thank you. That's better. I need this to go up the 199 steps that I'm about to do. Good cup of coffee. So if you want to find all the classic Whitby boutique shops, they're all over in this direction, so you need to head over the bridge, and that's where we're going now. So this is the marketplace that sometimes you miss when you walk along the street and then you walk that way past it. You don't see it from this side, so it's definitely worth just coming in here. So you can see even in February on a cold winter's day. Most places are actually open. All the little boutique shops are open. Cafes, pubs, restaurants, and it is still pretty busy. They make fudge in there, tiny little fudge shop. Let's quickly show you the beach actually. Some people call this Dracula's beach as well, although it's not officially named as that. Especially when the winter storms come in, it's quite shielded, and you do get the evening sunshine. It's a nice beach actually. So here are the start of the 199 steps. It's best to take 2 steps at a time, gets you up here quicker and doesn't tire you out as much. At least that's my philosophy. Just look at the view though. You can hear the waves crashing in over there. And it's quite handy the fact there's these steps every so often as you go up, because it can get very tiring. Sound like an old man. A moment where there's nobody walking on the steps. That's spooky. So getting to the very top, and St Mary's Church. What's really fascinating is some of these gravestones are very old. In fact, some of them, you can't see anything on them anymore. But they're dating back to the 1800s. It's also worth going in this church because it's really pretty. Let's have a quick nose. Look at that, nice chandelier. You don't get many churches like this where you get it double tiered at the top as well. Hard to believe that that was built back in the 1700s. There's not many churches where you actually kind of sit in these and you have to unlock them to sit in. And a lot of people ask the question, is Dracula's remains buried in St Mary's Church? In fact, it's one of the most Googled questions about Whitby. And the answer is no, because Dracula was a fictional character. Yeah. So just in front of us is the famous Whitby Abbey, built back in 657. I mean, it's mind-blowing. The first monastery became one of the most important religious centres in the Anglo-Saxon world. So it just goes to show you how long this has been here. Even old photos show this in ruin. So it's difficult to see it from the roadside, but if you've got a gimbal with an extendable arm, you can see it in all of its glory. It must have been amazing, Whitby, what it looked like when this was first built. Amazing. If you fancy seeing Whitby in the summer, click here, or you can see the best fish and chip review here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.